stomach is lined with the mucosa, all right? And mucosa, and most of your, like the small intestine and the stomach, the interior of these organs folds, okay, in these folds. So the folds are of the mucosae in stomach is called rugae, all right? And rugae is basically increase the surface area, all right, for absorption. Most of the absorption really occurs in intestines, small intestines, but there are some absorption that occurs in the stomach. We're going to talk about, actually after this I'll tell you about what we're doing chemically, so you can start with your chemical digestion. So and then we'll learn about the walls of the small intestine later, and so this is what you need to do is for your next practicum. So your next practicum is going to cover digestive system and urinary system, okay? So you need to know each organ, like, you know, look at them. There are other structures like the stomach, the large intestine. When you look at the large intestine, we see pouches, and these pouches, each of them called a haustrum, all right? And then there are this is a band of smooth muscle that goes around the large intestine and basically forms these little, you know, pouches, and it's called tenea coli. And so you need to know some of other extra structures of the these organs. So you look at it in the diagram, and then also I'll cover it up in the lecture. All right, now besides, so we learned about the main organs of the alimentary canal. Now there are other organs, we call them the accessory organs of digestive system. All right, one is liver, which is very, very important organ. We can't really live without our liver. Remember, if your liver is a refinery center. So when small intestine, the absorption of nutrients occur in small intestine. So when nutrients are all digested in small intestine, and in order to be absorbed into the blood and go, first it actually goes through a portal system. Remember that we call it the hepatic portal. All right. Now this is the hepatic portal vein. So this purple one. And so a network of blood vessels from small intestine that have digested food, all right, they all is gonna enter into the liver, because first they have to refine, because we take antibodies, antibiotics, we have, for example, we take medication, many things that has to be basically go through the liver, detoxify, and then back into the circulation. So that's what happens. So this is the portal vein that bring in the unrefined nutrients, all right, into the liver. Okay. Then what other things that liver do, that is what we call it accessory organ of digestive system, is that gallbladder basically is hanging from the liver, and this gallbladder also is accessory structure, stores bile. Bile is made in liver. Okay, so liver has these cells, we call them hepatocytes, that produces bile, and bile moves into the to the gallbladder, and there are ducts that from the bile connect to the small intestine. Okay, connects to the small intestine. Now the purpose of the bile, which liver produces, is that it emulsifies fat, which were one of the things that we're going to do with our digestion, chemical digestion, is that we have for example, give you a test tube. You can put some oil in a test tube and use with the same amount of volume, oil volume, you have another test tube and you put water. And you know, water doesn't have oil, right? As a control, we use it. And then remember that oil is not, you know, it's hydrophobic, and so it's very hard for oil to be exposed to the enzymes, all right, because it's very fatty. It's all like one whole, you know, structure. So bile, what it does, bile salts, when it's released from the bile ducts, it enters into the small intestine and emulsifies what? Fat. Emulsifying, like make the fat that is like a large globule structure into tiny, tiny bubbles, for example. All right, so they're more exposed to the enzymes, to the, for the, you know, and small, you know, small intestines release enzymes to do these digestions. All right, now another structure is what the pancreas. Okay, pancreas also not the endocrine part of the pancreas, but exocrine part of the pancreas. And what it does, it basically, it has contain a lot